Hey everybody, welcome back to Whiskey Central. If you're new here, my name is Shayla, and today I'm doing a review of the bottle that my patrons voted on, which is the Old Forester 1870. So I have some history for you today, but if you want to skip around to other parts of the video, there's timestamps in the description box below. And if you enjoy whiskey reviews, make sure to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any new videos. The founder of Old Forester, George Brown, was born September 2nd, 1846 in Mumfordville, Kentucky. He worked in Louisville, Kentucky as a pharmaceutical salesman, and at the time he was selling whiskey for medical purposes to doctors and pharmacies. Whiskey was normally sold in the barrel at this time because bottles were expensive to make. But Brown had the idea that you could bottle the whiskey to maintain its quality while also charging a higher price to cover the cost of bottles. The company was created, and in 1870, Old Forester became America's first bottled bourbon. They called it Old Forester with 2 R's in the middle after the Dr. William Forester, who was a doctor in Louisville. They used the good doctor's reputation and put his name on the label to show that this bourbon was high quality. When he retired, they changed the name to what you see today, Old Forester with 1 R in the middle. Many people bought into Old Forester, and eventually George Foreman bought shares in the company, and Brown-Forman was born. During Prohibition, Brown-Forman was one of only 6 companies with a license to sell medical whiskey. Old Forester created the Whiskey Row series, with each bottle commemorating a significant time in the company's history. 1897 was for the Bottled and Bond Act, 1910 for the year Brown started double-barreling his whiskey, 1920 for Prohibition, and this bottle of 1870 for the year the brand was created. They also try to replicate Brown's process of whiskey making. He was batching whiskeys from 3 different distilleries, so Old Forester batches their whiskey from 3 different warehouses, from different production days, with different entry proofs and ages. Alright, so let's get into the details of this whiskey. This bottle will run you about $48. It's owned by Brown-Forman, it's made in Kentucky, and it's non-age dated. It's 45% ABV, or 90 proof, and the mash bill is 72% corn, 18% rye, and 10% malted barley. It's aged in new charred oak barrels, it's made with a proprietary yeast strain, it's fermented for 3 to 5 days, and double distilled in a column still. It's non-colored, and it says that it's minimally filtered. Alright, so I'm going to pour a dram of this, let it sit for about 10 minutes, and I'll be right back. Alright, I've let this open up for about 10 minutes. Let's go in for a nose. So even with letting it open up, there's a little bit of proof. Not a lot, but a little bit of ethanol in the nose. There's some orange, some oak. Get that signature Brown-Forman banana note. And there's this nice caramel in there, but it's not like a regular caramel. It's kind of like a buttery, creamy kind of caramel. And that's kind of weird, but I get a little bit of like a raisin date note in here. A little bit of vanilla bean. Like usually I smell vanilla and it's kind of more like the extract, but this seems more like the actual bean, like the vanilla bean pod.
I have no idea what I'm doing, but I know I'm doing it really, really well.
And then there's some baking spice. Alright, let's go on the palate. Cheers, guys. So it's sweet. You have those caramel, vanilla notes. Get a little bit of oak on the palate. A little bit, some oak on the palate. A little bit of rye spice in the back. It's got a good mouthfeel for 90 proof, I would say. The finish is short, but it's a pretty good bourbon. So I'm going to finish it up and I'll be right back with my recommendation. So I really enjoy this bottle. I love Old Forester products, but I'm always going to want more proof. And this is a nice soft bourbon, but I think that it's a little bit overpriced. If you want to save some money and you like the Old Forester profile, you could go for the Old Forester Signature 100. And if you enjoy this and you want to try something new, they have 3 other expressions in this lineup, with the most notable and recommended being the Old Forester 1920. I think for 90 proof, the price is a little steep for a non-age dated. You've got a 10-year Russell's for $33 and a 10-year Eagle Rare for $35. And I know that this has some fancy marketing behind it, but there are other bottles you can buy that are cheaper and better than this. Thanks for joining me on this episode of Whiskey Central. Next week, I'll be reviewing something that my patrons vote on, so if you don't want to miss out, make sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. I hope you enjoyed this review. If you did, leave it a like. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week. The founder of Old Forester, George Brown, boom, we're done. 2 fucking videos in the bag. About to do the 3rd. And I haven't eaten anything all day, so gonna go eat, then I'm gonna fucking trace this bitch.